Hi my love, thank you for tuning into this video. If this is your first time here, my name is Philipa, but usually on this channel I go by Lip. It's so lovely to meet you, and I do hope that you stick around by subscribing. If you're returning, you already know how I feel about you. Thank you so much for always coming back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my story with you guys and some of the amazing things God has done and continues to do in my life, and the start of a new beautiful journey for me. So let's get right into it. So if you've been on my channel, you've been following me for a while, you'd already know that last year in September 2022, I got the opportunity to go to the UK to pursue my master's at Cranfield University in Applied Artificial Intelligence. But this story, I'm sort of going to give you, a brief background to that, prior to that, and then tell you guys about what God is doing for me now. That is really amazing. So it all started in 1998 when, at the crack of dawn on a lovely Sunday in May, the world was blessed with a beautiful baby girl. Guys, don't mind me. We are not going to go all the way back there. But to be fair, that was where it started. But, we'll fast forward a bit. And honestly, I think I was born around midnight, not at the crack of dawn. But then, yeah, I'll ask my mom to confirm that. So, yeah, anyways, fast forward to 2019. In 2019, I graduated from KNUST with a bachelor's in aerospace engineering. Let me just add that I graduated with first class honors, okay? Just for sheer reasons. And so, yeah, that was when my, journey towards my dream career started. And let me just say that at that time, my dream was to work in aviation, obviously, because I studied aerospace. And, the dream was to work in the industry with, one of the big leagues, one of the big companies in aircraft manufacturing. Specifically, my, first choice was Airbus or Boeing, Bombardier, Rolls-Royce, General Electric, all the big guys in aviation. So yeah, I know my dream was very ambitious. Trust me, I knew how crazy it was. And so right from the start, I knew that it wasn't going to be possible to just get into that kind of industry right from coming out from, a school. Let me not say a school like KNUST, because I don't want to downplay the institution. But then coming from where I was coming from Ghana, I knew it was going to be a tough goal to achieve, right? So I knew that in order to achieve this, I needed to leave my country and my home, the only home that I've ever known since I was born. I'd never left the country before, but I knew that the kind of dreams that I had would require me to leave the country. But then after uni, I started my national service in, the aviation industry in Ghana, because for those who don't know, you are required to do 1 year national service to sort of work for the government, to sort of pay back, because your tuition is kind of free, although you still pay some fees in uni anyway. Let's not get into that. So yeah, I started my national service in 2019 in Ghana. And also, in the course of my national service, I started exploring my other interests, because I had growing interest in computer programming, and specifically AI and machine learning and all of that. So in that period, I was able to also complete a 3-month course in AI online, and I got a nano degree in artificial intelligence. So it was within this period that I decided that I wanted to do a master's in AI, specifically applied artificial intelligence, and I applied for the Applied Artificial Intelligence program at Cranfield University in the School of Aerospace. And I chose this because Cranfield is a major player in the aviation industry. They have a lot of industry connections with the big industry players and all of that. And they have a very good reputation in aviation. So I applied for the applied AI program in Cranfield in 2019, and by God's grace, I gained admission for 2020 academic year. But like everyone else who is looking to apply to schools and doesn't have the money, I was faced with that challenge of funding and all of that. And the program was like super expensive. So I applied to several scholarship programs, but to no avail. I didn't get any. And it was just around the period that the global pandemic, COVID-19 also, started. And then I had to defer my admission because I wasn't getting the funding. And during that period, like, reality really started to hit me because the pandemic had also like heavily affected the aviation industry like across the world. And so my hopes of even securing like a job in the aviation sector in Ghana was also like, they were also dashed because there were literally like no jobs. People were even being laid off to talk of like someone who's now looking to enter the industry. So but by the special grace of God, somehow I never like stayed at home jobless. Although like my working conditions and situation was not ideal, because like I literally went a year or almost a year with no official form of remuneration. Like, what I'm saying is, guys, I had to wake up every morning, go to work, come back home like consistently, and at the end of the month I didn't receive a salary. I know it sounds like a lie, or it sounds so untrue, it sounds a little crazy, but that was really my reality. Like, I'm not going to mention any names, but then just to give you a bit of context, I was working in a newly established public institution in the aviation like industry, in aviation safety and regulatory aspects and all of that. And because it was a new institution, there were a lot of financial constraints because, well, the government I don't know how else to explain it without going into too much detail, but then that was it. I wasn't getting paid for close to a year. I was going to work, but no salaries, nothing. But I don't know how I made it through that period, to be honest. It was really by the grace of God. Anyways, in about 2021, by God's grace, I got a scholarship for the masters, which is, to be very honest with you, a whole other testimony on its own. But unfortunately, by the time like my scholarship letter came and everything, it was way too late, and I couldn't make it into the program in like 2021 as well. So that's another year of staying at home. And the program had already started, and the deadline to join into the program was way past. So the university couldn't allow me to join into the program. But thankfully, by God's grace, they made an exception of deferring my admission for a second time. So remember, I had already deferred my admission in 2020 to 2021. And usually they wouldn't defer it again. It would just be like cancelled. But understanding, the exceptional nature of my situation, they agreed to defer it again to the next year so that I could hopefully not lose my scholarship. So within this period of waiting, like I said, initially I was going to work, but I wasn't getting money. So I had to take up a second job, and I got a job in aircraft maintenance. And actually this role I started as an internship. So the pay was bad. And I had to also combine it with my other job because I needed the money, and then I also wanted the experience. So although it was tough, I decided to do both jobs. You guys, I'm saying that I had to literally sometimes go for night shifts for, one of the jobs. And then in the morning when the night shift was over, I'll just go and freshen up, rest for a couple of hours, and then go back to my day job. And all this, let's know if he gets into it. So I had to juggle these two roles for quite a while actually, and then eventually I left my earlier job, the first job, and transitioned into like a full-time role in aircraft maintenance. And yeah, by God's grace, finally in September 2020, not to dwell too much on the ups and downs of all the struggles of working two jobs and whatnot. Let's just fast forward, because I think I have just about 10 minutes and I've already made 10 minutes. So yeah, in September 2022, God opened the doors for me to finally leave for my master's program and to start a new journey in the UK. The journey was very bumpy, like getting here, and there was a lot of crying, a lot of prayers, a lot of, unhappiness. I don't want to say depression, because I don't think I got into depression, but I was really unhappy for a long time, and I was, crying to God for a breakthrough throughout. And yeah, there was a lot, but I cannot see everything here in one video, and it's not everything that you can share. So my new journey in the UK was also not without its challenges. I might share more in another video, but for the purposes of this video, a major challenge was getting a sponsored job, because as a sponsored student with a scholarship, applying for the post-study work visa was going to be way more complicated for me. So I don't know if you guys remember all the companies that I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I had dreamed of working with. Listen to me, I applied to like all of them. See, I attended every Airbus event that there was in Cranfield. I even chose like one of the Airbus projects in the list as part of my options for my final year projects, but I don't know. And for whatever reason, I think my application for the Airbus Global Graduates Program didn't even go through, because everyone was getting a mail to complete an assessment after applying. I didn't even get that email. See, my UK job search is also another story on its own, because hey, anyways, that is how I applied to this job that wasn't even in the UK. And to be fair, I had also applied to other places outside of the UK, but this was the only one that I got any feedback for. So I saw the job on the university job board, and it's really picked my interest, because a lot of the rules and the requirements were sort of linked to some of the things that I have done before in my previous job, like work experience, especially in the maintenance department. So that's how I applied for this job. And like I've already said, it was outside of the UK, but it was still in Europe. But then because of Brexit, I didn't have the right to work in this country. And then there was also the language barrier, and all these issues sort of came up in the interview. They asked me if I could speak the language, if I had right to work. I mean, obviously I didn't. And so when I didn't hear back from them after about a month, I just thought, it didn't work out because there were all these challenges. Although, like, competency-wise, I felt like it was a good interview and I was a good fit. But, yeah, there were these challenges. So I didn't even bother to follow up on the job and everything. So tell me why, after over a month, I just get an email from, like, the company, these guys asking me to send my passport and other information like to them. And yeah, let me just explain so that you guys get a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. So for this country, you need a work permit. Like, it's to be able to work here as a foreigner, the company needs to apply to their government to request a work permit for you, because they sort of have to justify why a citizen of the country, or even a citizen from EU, cannot fill that role, and so that they have to go like outside, first of all, of the country and also of the European Union to employ a foreigner. So it's it's honestly not easy to get hired as a foreigner in this country. But when I tell you like how smoothly and how fast everything was, the entire documentation process, getting the work permits, the visa, everything was so smoothly. It's really just a miracle, because I had done like research into it, and then I saw so many videos and testimonies of other people saying that it was like almost impossible and really hard, and the process was really long and things like that. For even people that studied in this country, that came to do masters and everything here, it's really just God. Like I literally have no words but like just to say thank you to God, because he, did everything, because everything went so smoothly. Within weeks I had gotten the work permit, like matter of weeks I had the visa. Everything was just so smooth. I had no bumps in the road in that regard. And ladies and gentlemen, I say all this to say that to the glory of God, I have an amazing job in France. And let me just say, you guys, like, do you remember like my super crazy and ambitious dream from before? Well, let me just say that now I'll be working with some of the major players in the aviation industry, and it's really amazing. Like whoever said that, like, dream big because God can fund it, was really talking about me. Because when I look at everything now, seriously, it's really just God. I'm just so grateful to God. Like, this is the beginning of something amazing for me. This is the beginning of a wonderful journey for me, and I know that it's not going to be without its challenges. But God never said the journey will be easy, but his grace and his mercies will take us through. And so I'm trusting in him for this journey ahead. And seriously, I hope that my story is some sort of encouragement for you. And I also want to take this opportunity to pray for everyone out there who is trusting in God and waiting in God for a breakthrough, that keep trusting in him, because your miracle is coming. Your miracle is on the way. And seriously, now when I think about everything that has happened, like in retrospection, I realize that everything that I went through, I needed to go through it. Like, I had to go through it to bring me to this point and to this place, like at this moment. So I just want you to trust that you're exactly where God wants you to be, according to his plan for you. And his plans are perfect and they have no flaws. I know it may not be easy now, but just pray to God for the grace to endure and for the grace to see it through and to go through with his plan for you, and continue trusting in him and keeping your faith in him, because the end of the road is really beautiful for you and is absolutely worth everything that you are going through. I just hope that this story has, encouraged you in a way, and encouraged you to keep going and to keep trusting in him. And I just want to say that if you did not believe in God before watching this video and hearing my testimony, I hope that by sharing my story, I've sort of encouraged you in a way. And if you want to know more about God and you want to pursue a journey with him, you want to give your life to Jesus Christ, you can just reach out to me. I'm going to leave my email and social media in the description box. Just reach out to me and let's have a conversation about it. Anyway, give you guys a little room tour or something. Yeah, this is going to be home for the next the next how many days. Yeah, so let's just look at it. It's really cute but it's small. But it's cool. Let's have a look at it. So over here there's this huge mirror. I hope I hope this video has served some sort of purpose on the internet. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching this video, and leave a comment. Let's praise God and worship God together in the comment section. You can leave congratulatory messages because I'm about to start a new job and a new journey in France. So you can leave congratulatory messages in the comment section. I'm really going to appreciate that, and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, because like I said, we are starting a new journey and I believe that you want to come along with me on it. And thank you guys so much for helping me build this platform as well. And thank you to God. Thank you also to my family and friends for always being a support, because like I said, like getting here it hasn't been easy. The road has been bumpy, and I'm really grateful to have had people around me to support me and encourage me and pray with me all the way to this point. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.